What the fuck is good, boys? It's your boy Rico here, back at it again with yet another video. And on today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys an outrageous story. But before I get into that, I'm going to ask you guys to leave a big fat fuck off thumbs up and subscribe to this video if you do enjoy it at any point in time. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers, that'd be very much appreciated. You guys have only cock teased me by getting me to 195 out of 200, for fuck's sakes. So if we can get to 200 by the end of February, that's my main fucking goal. My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know anybody. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys the story about how I bought a car and it fucking blew up 8 hours after buying it. Let's get into this fucking story. So I went to go visit my family in Foam Lake. You guys know that I lived in this shitty little small town in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere before I moved out and fucking started booling on my own, right? Shut the fuck up! So I moved out and I did all that. You already know about that. But I went to go and visit my family, and I went to go pick up this car. So we had purchased this car. It was not touched, it wasn't driven, it wasn't any of that. My papa actually took very fucking good care of it. Well, it was like in storage or whatever, and it was only sitting there for like a couple weeks, right? We bought the thing and it sat, and we put fresh gas in it. We didn't do anything with it afterwards, and it was fine for the little bit that I was driving it around town, right? So I was driving it around town in Foam Lake, my hometown, and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. It's time to go back to like home, because I have work tomorrow, right? I was gonna bring this car to work, and it was gonna be like my daily driver, right? And I did not have a lot of money at this time, boys. Like, I was right fucking poor. This was the only way I was going to be able to get to work. Like, after this, it was like right after my birthday and everything, so I had my birthday money, but this was all I really had in terms of getting to work, right? So I was driving on the highway, and I was going the speed limit, we can say. I was going 100. I'm not gonna state miles or kilometers. Anyways, I was going 100, and basically what ended up happening, the car was running just fine. There had never been a knock. This car sounded like it was fresh off the fucking lot, right? It only had 100,000 kilometers on it, which is fucking brilliant for a car that's 2000. It was a 2000 Chrysler 300M. This thing was low kilometers. Its engine was fucking mint. There had not been a single sound coming out of that engine that sounded weird. No code showed up, nothing. So I was driving on the highway, and there's basically these bends on this highway, right? There's the bend that goes left, and then there's the bend that goes right. So I take the first bend, and then I realized that my car has no fucking power, because I slowed down, and then I tried to speed back up, and all it did was shut off. So it was hard for me to do anything. I thought the alternator was fucked, but the car literally just fucking shuts off, and the gas had no power. Like, it felt like I ran out of gas almost, but the tank was full still. Like, I had just filled the tank not even an hour prior. So I pull over, and nothing's going on. Like, there's nothing leaking. Nothing seems out of the ordinary with the car, but I try to start it, and it just won't fucking turn. I get it running, but then it just goes, and it's a V6. It's not supposed to sound like that. It's not supposed to sound like a rake being dragged against gravel, right? So I fucking shut this thing off right then and there. I'm like, yeah, that's not fucking healthy. So I sit there, and I'm sitting on this fucking highway, not knowing what to do. At the time, I didn't have a phone or a phone number, so even if I wanted to fucking call somebody, I couldn't. So I had no way of contacting people. I had about $200 in my pocket. and all my shit was in my car, and I didn't know how the fuck I was gonna get back home. I was still like 2 hours out of my town, or like where I lived, right? And I was like an hour away from the town, like my hometown, where I fucking started this trip from. So I sit on the highway and I don't know what else to do, so I fucking take a cigarette, fucking start puffing on it, sit on the hood of my car, and I fucking stick my thumb out. I have my hazards lights on and everything, and I see fucking like 20, 30 cars go by, fucking counting them like sheep. It's making me want to fucking fall asleep. But I see a tow truck. I believe that somebody passed me, saw that I was fucked, and called a tow truck for me. What a Chad. What a fucking champ. But anyways, I sit there and I fucking see this tow truck pull up, and he's like, hey, do you need any help? And I was like, fuck yeah, I need some help. So I talked to him, and I'm like, hey, do you think you can bring this to the closest mechanic shop for me? I'll fucking give you like 50 bucky. He was like, sure thing, dog. So I hop in his truck, we load the fucking car up, right? But anyways, I hop in the fucking passenger seat of this tow truck, right? And he's driving me to this mechanic shop, and we get to talk, and we're just talking about how our days are. I'm like, yeah, man, I just bought this car like 8 hours ago. Fuck. He's like, yeah, that's pretty fucking shitty, bro. Like, I've been there, done that type of thing. Like, he told me his little story about how his fucking car, his shit box broke down, all of that stuff. It was jazz, but my car fucking killed itself. I called my parents with the tow truck driver's phone, and I was like, hey, so I'm halfway between Foam Lake and Regina, on the way back home, with the tow truck driver. My car blew up, Mom and Stepdad. If you guys could call me back or message me on Facebook, that would be very much appreciated. I told them all that, and it was pretty fucking funny. They got some fucking giggles out of it. But anyways, we get to this mechanic shop, and the mechanic, he's like fucking like straight off the boat European, right? He was like funny. He looked like Roman from fucking GTA 4, and kind of sounded like him too. It was kind of fucked. But anyways, this guy comes up to me, and I'm like, hey man, do you think you can fucking diagnose my car? I don't know what the fuck wrong with it. I told him, like, explained to him what happened, explained to him what I just fucking explained to all you guys and all that shit, and he tries to start the car, and he starts it, right? And this thing, like, I'm a car guy, right? And I didn't even know what the fuck was wrong with it. This mechanic's like, yeah, I've never heard something so fucked in my life. That's basically what he explained to me. He said that was fucked. He said it sounded like it needed a new engine, which I was not about to spend $2,000 on a fucking engine for a car that I spent $2,000 on. Fuck that. So I get this fucking tow truck driver another $150 and $50 from my card to bring my car another 2 hours down the road to fucking Regina. He parks it in front of my house and all that, and it's fine and dandy. But now I have a shitbox car, like basically a giant paperweight sitting in front of my fucking house because the engine's blown. Like, the engine's completely fucked. My papa even came down because he is like, he buys and sells cars and shit and buys and sells used cars and fixes them up and all that. He came down and looked at this car. He's the person that I got this thing off of. He came down and looked at this car, and he's like, yeah, that thing's fucked. He brought it to his mechanic, and his mechanic said the timing belt slipped. That made the water pump blow. That made engine not get any lubricant, and the whole thing is fucked. So basically, that engine, within a matter of like 5 seconds, decided to fucking actually commit suicide. It was fucked. It was completely bonkers. So we ended up having to scrap this thing, and my papa Jim's like, hey man, shitty luck that your Chrysler 300, your fucking really nice car with really big fuck off shiny rims. It's really big shame that had to go ahead and fucking kill itself, right? So I'm going to get you a Ford Taurus. A real automobile, a right pussy wagon. Which the Ford Taurus was fucking bitchin' while I had it. There's so many stories about that car. That's for another video. But he got me a Ford Taurus and all was fine and dandy afterwards. But hope you enjoy, guys. Leave a big fat fuck off thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow my Twitter and at animationscsk to keep up with all my shit, as well as the rest of my social medias. Those are all down below. Anyways, I'm out, boys. Deuces.